What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So Bethesda has finally decided to increase our movement speed cap from 120% to 150%. So we're going to take a look at the PTS and see what exactly that looks like. So before we get started, there are 4 perks that actually affect movement speed. There is Gunrunner, Deadman Sprinting, Squad Maneuvers, and Jaguar Speed. These will each give you 20% movement speed. However, Deadman Sprinting and Jaguar Speed cannot be used together because they have conflicting effects. There are 3 movement speed items in the game. There is Speed Demon Mutation, Emergency Protocols, Chest Mod for Power Armor, and Propelling Force Legendary Effect, again for Power Armor. Taking a look in game, I have all of the movement speed perks equipped, so I should be well over the 150% movement speed cap. However, if we take a look at the newly buffed Steadfast chest piece here, you can see that I don't have the maximum bonus on this chest piece, even though my speed is well over that 150% cap. We'll explore that a little bit later. But moving on to the purpose of this video, I'll be showing you guys a series of races in the White Springs Mall, using all of the perks and taking them off one at a time and seeing how they affect my movement speed. So starting off, we're going to be on a ghoul with all these speed buffs equipped and seeing how fast I can go from one end of the hallway all the way past the other side where the checkered floor is. Alright, now moving on, I'm going to be doing the same thing but without the Gunrunner perk equipped and seeing how long that takes me. Alright, now doing the same thing again but taking off Deadman Sprinting and Gunrunner. And lastly, doing the same exact thing again, but taking off everything but Speed Demon and seeing how long that takes me to go from one side of the hallway all the way to the other. Now, Speed Demon is affected by strange in numbers, so it can go to 25%, but I'm not in a team with somebody else, so it's still at that 20%. Alright, and back to the Steadfast chest piece as I promised. As you can see, again, I'm at plus 30 instead of plus 50, even though I'm well over the speed cap that they have listed. So what's going on here? Well, if you look at Power Armor has access to 2 more things that buff your speed. There is the Propelling Legendary Effect and the Emergency Protocols chest mod. So when I get into the Power Armor and actually look at the chest piece once more, you can see that the maximum buff is actually available now. So I guess that means I'm at the maximum movement speed possible? Question mark. Anyway, let's see how fast I can do this race in Power Armor with all the buffs active and showing that I'm at the maximum bonus possible on that chest piece. And for funsies, I'm going to do a foot race from the top of Vault 76 all the way down to the road that leads you to the Wayward. And this is going to be between the ghoul with all the speed buffs equipped and having the same thing done with Power Armor with all these speed buffs equipped again. Now I do want to note that this is not a completely accurate simulation because I do end up running out of AP about halfway through the race on both of the characters, the Power Armor and the ghoul.
Get away from me!
Alright, so now that we've conducted all of those speed tests, what exactly were the results? Well, here they are on screen. As you can see, Power Armor did have the fastest time, however it was only by like half a second. And then if I take off Gun Render and Deadman Sprinting, it only increases the amount of time it takes by 1 second. So with those results in mind, I would say Squad Maneuvers is definitely the way to go here. By having this perk on simply by itself and with the speed demon mutation, you should be able to achieve close to the maximum amount of speed possible, while also not having to sacrifice anything in your build, because the agility tree is very stacked, so having to make sacrifices in that tree is just not optimal for anyone's build. So that'd be my recommendation. So you get the plus 20% from Squad Maneuvers and the plus 25% if you're on a team with somebody else who's also mutated from Speed Demon. So you're really only missing about 5% there in terms of actual math, but if that's how it's actually calculated, who knows.